Hey Team Scorpio, it's ScorpioMystique. I'm back with a new video. I wanted to have an update because the last video I did was a year ago, and it was just when Saturn had entered the Scorpio constellation, so around October 5th, 2012. Saturn will stay in Scorpio until September 2015. So it's already been 1 year into Saturn in Scorpio, and since it's a pretty heavy transit in all Scorpios' lives, I wanted to have an update video. You know, there's pros and cons to Saturn being in our sign, and that's kind of what we need to discuss. You know, how can we get through these next 2 years and get the most out of Saturn's visit in our sign, because it's a very, very special time. And Saturn won't be back in our sign when it leaves in 2015. It won't be back until another 29 years. So we'll be on another whole set and stage in our lives. Some astrologers view Saturn as a bad planet, but I don't like classifying planets as good or bad because they each have their pros, their cons, their reasons for being, just like human beings are more than just bad or good. Saturn is definitely a challenging planet because it pushes us to accept and witness truth that sometimes we might be blind to or not necessarily want to face. So of all the zodiac signs, I definitely say Scorpio is somebody who really honors truth and seeks it. However, when it comes to, you know, facing their own faults, and when it comes to looking in the mirror, it can be harder, just like for anyone. But when Saturn is in our sign, we don't really have a choice. It presents us with situations, dilemmas, events in our lives that deeply transform us and deeply awaken us. Saturn's main purpose is to push us and to propel us towards realizing our true purpose. So this means straight up backup jobs, you know, backup plans that we hold on to, that we create because a part of us are scared to go after what we really want to do. Saturn is going to eliminate that from our lives one way or the other. And another possibility during Saturn in Scorpio's 3-year stay is that you will start your own business or go after the personal project you've always wanted to do on your own. And every bit of effort that you put in during Saturn and Scorpio's stay will come back to you tenfold. What that means is we're all so tired. We're all drained because of the energy, but we keep going, we keep going, we keep going. Why is that? Yes, Scorpios just have a deep sense of perseverance, but it's also because intuitively we know that we're on the right path. Intuitively we know that it will pay off one way or the other. We have that patience. So that's what Saturn and Scorpio is for. If you encumber your mind with negative thoughts, unfortunately, you will feel a much darker effect of Saturn and Scorpio, because Saturn can be negative if it can feed off of negativity, basically. So bad events can happen, quote unquote bad, because even from the bad events, a lot is learned. So quote unquote bad events that can sometimes happen within Saturn and Scorpio, but which later are seen as, you know, necessary, are ruptures in personal relationships, but not just, you know, out of the blue anyone, but some that intuitively deep down you knew were destructive somehow, emotionally, psychologically, physically, spiritually destructive, verbally, any form of, you know, I'm brushing this under the rug, but I don't deserve this. Saturn and Scorpio will force you to confront that one way or another. It's either you find a way to make this better, to turn this around for good, like take your stance, don't be passive anymore, make it known what you deserve, or leave. The relationship is no longer healthy for you and it's not going to add to your life. But Saturn is very harmonious as well. For example, in this current time period, Saturn and Scorpio just made a trine, which is a very harmonious 30-degree aspect to Jupiter in Cancer. A lot of opportunities are bound for Scorpio, and so basically consider Saturn being a teacher, a mentor, and Saturn is opening these doors for you. And there's not actually millions of them, but just a select few, because it's chosen the best doors for you. It's easier said than done in a metaphor sense, of course, because in tangible realities, it could be accepting, the end of a job in order to start a completely entrepreneurial path and taking a risk. Or it could also be, having to face graduation coming up, and thinking about the quote-unquote real world, and thinking about what your vocation is and how you will pursue it and if you'll be happy. For those of you who are Scorpios around the 27 through 29, 30 age, you guys are experiencing for the most part, your Saturn's return. That's when you truly know yourself. And every 29 years, like 29 years later, you have that second stage of involvement, 29 years later, that third stage of involvement. So I just wanted to give a shout out to the 27 through 30-year-olds, and those close to that age. Just know that's basically prime mode. Wonderful opportunities also come your way. For all Scorpios, wonderful opportunities are on the horizon. So what I wanted to say, I know I'm not personally in everybody's situation, but I have felt a lot of this burden sometimes of responsibility. That's a great way to, put Saturn and Scorpio in a descriptive phrase. It's like sometimes a burden of responsibility. You just feel that you have to be doing something constructive. And as much as, sometimes you're like, whoa, where did this happen? How did this happen? Why is this happening? Quote unquote, why me? Switch that up and be like, I was chosen for a purpose. So just go with the flow of Saturn rather than viewing it as like, viewing your current situation as, negative. View it as necessary and constructive and leading to the pot of gold once you put in the work. So yeah, Scorpios are a sign that stick to things once they start it. And, we give up very rarely. So I just wanted this to be a positive boost as much as I can, no matter what department you might be having challenges in, romantically, financially. I know financially is a huge one for a lot of Scorpios right now, but just know that you're going up that mountain. So, at first it seems bleak. At first it seems like it's all the same. But the view from that mountain will be great. Check out ScorpioMystique.com if you guys want me to do a personalized birth chart reading, a compatibility report, or if you guys have questions you want to ask me personally, I have services for that. Wishing all of you a very happy holiday season and hoping to hear from you guys through tweets and comments and emails and birth charts. And yeah, I love you. Bye, Team Scorpio.